Welcome back, Greggy T. It's been a while, but we are back with episode 90 of the Empower Man podcast. 10 more episodes to go to hit the magic 100, the Ben Franklin, the C Note, the Century Mark, Empower Man podcast. We are going to hit 100 episodes. Not many podcasts make it to 100 episodes, but I'll tell you who does make it is the man right now who's so amped up on testosterone he could live to 225.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need Viagra. Viagra calls him. He is the man, the myth, the legend, the camera. He's all over the place. Greggy T is so amped up.
Oof. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It's good to see my brother, my parent, my patriot, my friend, the champion of the Second Amendment. He'll make your body cream with his love machine. He won't stop until he hears your mother scream. Tadora. Greggy T, welcome back.
Yeah, man. It's been a while. Sorry, everybody, but we have been very, very busy. Very busy. All good things. Just setting up 2026. It's going to be a big year in a lot of ways. So
It sure will be, Greg. Because I tell you what, I can't wait to go back to visit New York and go on a bus for free.
I thought you were going to say get on testosterone.
That too.
Mm-hmm.
That too. But you never know, because I am getting a year older and I'm getting a year closer to.
That means I am too. So
that means you'll be 50 before me.
Of course. So I don't even care. I'm glad we made it.
Yeah, and that's not really a fond thought to think about, you know. It's like, it's really not. Like, I'm really thankful. And it's like, it's funny because it's like, you know, there's a lot of things on social media. Like, what you see with me is what you get. And I think anybody who watches it knows me, this is me, just different. And, you know, there's an old saying in the Bible that the old life is gone, a new life has begun when you decide to move forward and growing in different ways. But you know what? Sometimes you hold on to that old life. I don't know whether you're afraid or because you don't know, or maybe it's new. So one of the things that I'm really trying to work on in 2026 is letting it go, because the old life was one identity. And I think when you look at your life and you look at who you are as a person, like, what's your identity? It's like, what do you want to be known for? But what do you want to be remembered for? Like, if I was giving your eulogy, right, your funeral, right, what would you like me to say? Here lies Greg, who had more needle pins in his leg than anybody I know. No, but you know, it's like I can say a lot more, but you know, that's on our Patreon channel coming. But I don't know, Greg, what are your thoughts on that? Like, you know, have you felt like, you know, when we talk about like different things, and I know we got a lot to talk about tonight, your old life when you were single, now you're stepping into, you know, as you stepped into fatherhood over the last 7 years now, your oldest is going to be 6, she'll be 7, right? Have you felt like that seismic shift in your life where you felt like, yeah, a lot of things I used to do or I used to believe I let go of, and because now I'm stepping into something that I'm meant to be, which is like being there for your kids?
Yeah, most definitely. I think I have. I don't think it's all because I had kids, but obviously the majority of it is because of that. But I think I was getting there anyway before kids. It just sped it up, if that makes sense. But yeah, I've thought about it. I've been having weird dreams, like death letters and going on weird one-way missions. Not necessarily suicidal missions, but they're called that because you go on a mission and there's like a 10% chance you make it back. So I've been having some really weird dreams lately. And it makes you think, if what would people say at your funeral? I know this is weird, but I think about that. And I can say now it would sound completely different than if I was 25.
Yeah.
Totally different. And I think better, because I think the majority of people, I don't care where you live, this isn't a Northeast thing, most people they don't. If you ask them what you just said, what's your identity? I bet you most don't know. They'll throw out a blanket answer or like a canned line that they've either read or saw on social media or something. But if you said, no, 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 really, come back to me in a few days, yeah, they would struggle because I don't think they know. And I think you should know. And maybe it's good to tap into that realm of thinking, in my opinion, especially as you get older, especially if you have kids. But even if you don't have a family, or if you're a single girl or single guy, like, you should know the answer to that, in my opinion, because I think it would help you in whatever journey or path you're on, or if you're trying to get off a path and onto a new path. If you knew what your identity is, and you don't have to know it fully, but at least know some of it, I think it would help.
Right. I can say like my whole life, I've always wanted to be known as a wrestler.
Mhm.
And I had spent my
Facts.
whole life ever since I was like
Facts.
6.
Mhm.
Like I've acted like one. I never left out. I never took the ring. I never took the ring out. I never left it. There was never
Mhm.
where who I really am. Like, there was
Mhm.
no lines blurred.
When I
The
met
fact
you,
I even
you were all about it, so he's not lying, everybody.
and
This
the
is true.
fact that I was able to hold a corporate job for 20 years and still acted the way I did was remarkable. You know,
Yep.
and
Yep.
it made me, and I got a lot of friends out of it, I guess. But
Oh.
the thing is now is I'm a 47. I've had
Mhm.
my fair share of injuries since I tried getting back into it. That I'm paying for financially, as our healthcare system is definitely in need of some repair. But you know,
Every
I,
system is. Every system.
and I sit here and I think about like, well, like I feel like I'm being called to step into a light and a life that I want to be in, but it's like, well, like, can I still wrestle? Obviously, my time in wrestling is on life support. It's not much I can do. I'd still like to do a few more
There's
things, but
other
again,
things in my this is your world,
yeah,
but there's a million other things that you would crush in that
right,
space. You just can't maybe physically go in the ring as much as you want.
right,
Nor should you, if I'm gonna be selfish, because can't get any
yeah,
more concussions.
I can't. And
Not
the
worth it.
fact that my brains are like still intact is a miracle.
Yeah, you're lucky.
And it's hard to like because I just went to my neurologist last week and we went through checkups. I go every 6 months, and she's like, "You don't need a brain MRI, so you're good," and like
Good,
that.
good.
Because I still get headaches, and a lot of them come from my neck because I do have herniated discs in my neck. So it's
Mhm,
it becomes the struggle because it's like, man, if I could just go in and do it, and it's like a drug. It's like, oh man, just like a drug addict,
but you
just one
love
more
it.
hit,
You love
right?
it, though.
I do. And it's just like, man, just one more hit, just one more hit, one more hit. But he
Mhm,
also realized, like, man, like, I'm hitting an age where a lot of these kids right now, they deserve a spot. They deserve to have that stuff. I had a lot of fun. I was able to do it. I was able to live and do certain things. So it's
mhm,
like the next life I'd like to step into is more along the lines of just like not the craziness, but more along the lines of like what I've been doing the last couple of years, stepping into a role and doing more stuff with my church and other things that are more good for the soul, but I
mhm.
can't let go of that. Like at my identity, I don't want people to say, well, here is a guy who had potential and he wasted it. That's the last thing I would want someone to say. And it's always like I've always had this chip on my shoulder because I've always felt like I had something to prove. And I carry that with me every day and I use it, but it can also make me very exhausted and very tired because it's like I'm sick of being second best. I'm sick of like being like second fiddle to this. Oh, we're gonna pay you this. Oh, we're gonna pay you that. And I could say a 4-letter word with a 3-letter word after that to say, hey, listen, I'm worth more than this because what
Mhm.
I see around here is not really up to standard. Do you ever feel that way?
Of course. And, piggybacking what you just said, I find myself like 3 or 180 back into the pool, which is pretty much how I started as a kid swimming. And, you know, I started like subbing for a good friend of mine owns, in my opinion, the best swim academy for babies all the way to 7, 8 years old. So they get them ready to try out for travel teams, and she's been wanting me to work with her for a long time. And I'm in that old space in my mental, like I'm better than that, like blah blah blah, and the whole
Right.
stigma, especially around here, because these people suck.
Of course.
And I've done it, and I love doing it, and I like working with adults. I like working with kids also because it's hard. It's not easy,
Right.
especially in an environment like a pool where it's humbling to everybody. I don't care how big you are, how strong you are, how skinny you are, how fat you are. You're all humbled real quick. And the kids respond well to me because I have 2 kids, so I know how to speak to them and kind of get them out of their mindset and focused. And that's what I want to do, is give them tools that they can take outside of the pool and use it in their everyday lives, because I think it's needed, because the whole environment now, and I'm not shitting on parents around here, but kids can use more examples, or better examples maybe, and also in school and in situations where they can calm down, focus, do a task, and almost compartmentalize. Just let's do one thing at a time. Don't worry about what we're doing next. Like, let's worry about this set right here, right now. Let's just focus on this discipline for this lap. Go. And it's been good. So I do feel that way, because when I was in the corporate world and with many different positions and making various levels of money, yeah, I was underpaid in certain areas and I felt like I deserved more. And obviously, they're not paying you. And then when you work for somebody, it's their company, not yours.
That's
So you
right.
might have great ideas, making a ton of money for the office. And if they want credit for an idea that you did, and they want to pass it off as their own, and it gets messy,
Yeah.
because a lot of people that are born into certain positions don't deserve it and don't know what they're doing. That's why when you're handed daddy's company, it's one of two things happens. It either skyrockets and you level up, or you crush and tank it. And most people tank it because they don't know what they're doing, because they grew up a certain way with a silver spoon. And if you grew up with a silver spoon and then took it to the next level, kudos, that's cool. But that's also rare. Most people drive it into the ground, or the parent doesn't even give the business to the kid because they know the kid's going to kill it.
Right. Right.
So, yeah.
Right. And childhood's kind of like kind of predicates everything. Like you got into swimming young, right? I was
Mhm.
exposed to wrestling at a really young age, and it's like it's
Mhm.
in my blood. And when it's in your blood, it's like it's hard to let go. But it could be anything, whether
Mhm.
you played recreational baseball, you played pickup basketball, like just
Mhm.
just the pure love of just going in there and doing it. And like with wrestling, I don't know what it was about swimming, but once you're bit by the bug, it never goes away. I mean, if I live to 75, I'll probably want to have matches in the retirement home.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So it's
Of
like, oh, I
course.
think I can get in there. So, but it's
Yeah.
also, but it's how do we use that? It's like we're in like act two of our lives, right? So, like full disclosure to everybody out
We're
there,
probably
I'm
like
in.
act 7 or 8 at this point, but yeah, I
Well,
hear you.
act one was real long.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm in the process of I'll say it, getting my shit together. Right. It took a while, but I had that awakening that we had talked about earlier, the awakening. And it's not that like getting my shit together in the fact that I can't hold a job or anything
Mhm.
like that. It's just getting like we talked about our house in
Priorities.
order. It's priorities.
Mhm.
It's finally saying, okay, like, I feel like God nothing happens by accident.
Yeah.
Like you and I didn't meet 20 some odd years ago by accident. There was a reason. And here we are 25 or so many years later, right? Things don't
Mhm.
happen by accident. And if you're in tune with
Mhm.
that, you'll pick up on the universe that people like to say, or
I
people that
agree with
are
that. Mhm.
agnostic, right? Which is fine. Believe what you want. I believe that God does things like there's a reason that people don't call you back. There's a reason that you don't get that job. There's a reason that she doesn't go
Yep.
out with you. And,
Mhm.
before I come from the school where you never give up. You keep pushing, keep fighting. But like
Yeah.
I'm also now that I'm older, wiser, been exposed to different things, you got to pick up on signs and signals. If someone's not calling you back or if she ain't texting you back, then you got to say, hey, I don't think she's interested and move on. In fact, I know she's not interested.
Yeah.
Because what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and thinking you're going to get the same result.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, more follow up on that, Greg. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, no, I agree with everything you're saying, and it's the more you step into thinking about what your purpose is or your identity, the clearer it is. It gets easier, and but a lot of people don't want to face the fact that they don't know. Then they put their walls up, or a lot of people identify as their job. I don't. I mean, listen, I'm not saying good or bad. That. I just think that's not for me. That's just not for me. I don't want to be. I'm not identified as. I don't know. Name a profession. I don't know. A delivery guy. That's your identity. You're telling me that. Are you a son, a brother, a friend, a father? What are you? Start there. Super basic, but like I don't know. I think your identity shouldn't be a job
Agreed.
because jobs can end the next morning.
Like
And
that.
then what? Now you
Instant.
have no identity. Now what? Now you're going to spiral. You're going to be reaching for things, doing things. You're going to be in a bad headspace. You're going to make bad decisions. Nothing good comes out of that. Instead of figuring out who you are as a person. And down there, because I lived down there a long time, and up here, they associate all that shit with money. You can have all the money in the world and you're a piece of shit. And everyone knows it. No one will tell you to your face, or at least some people won't. I'll tell you to your face. I have no problem with that. Because I know a bunch of guys like that. I know a bunch of girls like that too. But I know a lot of the guys around here, like, they think they're all big and bad because they make X amount of money. That money can't help you in any real life situation. You can only throw money at something for so long. Then you're going to actually need friends or somebody to help you physically. Then what?
Right.
Because I know you're not capable. If something happens, what are you going to do? Throw money at it? They're just going to take your money
Right.
and bypass you. So I think knowing your identity will it helps you. But you have to also be open-minded to what it might actually be. You might think it's one thing and it's completely on the other side of the spectrum, which is cool. It is what it is. And I do also believe what you said. People come in and out of your lives for a reason, or things happen for a reason, and you didn't get a job for a specific reason. I completely agree with that. I
Yeah.
think it's true. I think it's the universe like aligning you to where you should be, and everyone's like, "Well, why is it taking so long?" It's not on your time frame.
That's
Plus, you
right.
probably made a lot of shitty decisions that probably stalled it, and it could have been there a lot faster. I'm guilty of that too.
Oh, you like
You
you
know,
know, I'm
so
paying. I'm paying for those mistakes.
so am I.
Literally,
So am I.
So I get it.
So
It's a great point.
I rather have more. I say this all the time, and I've said this for a long time now. I rather have more time than money because you can't buy that shit because it's not on your. You might get sick. Then what? All the money in the world. It might help you. It might help you get better doctors or whatever. But I'm talking about real time versus money. I rather have more time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna work overtime and get time and a half. Like that's cool. But what's the time value of money? And they're like, well, I can make like $100 in an hour. I'm like, but what are you missing in that hour? What could you, or what do you want to do in that hour?
Right.
I've been throwing money at things to not be places, and I said no, I don't want to do it because I'd rather be here with so and so, or rather be doing something that I want to do. But I know most people will sell their souls for money. We know a ton of people like
Of
that.
course.
I'm not hating on them. That's a choice. That's a choice. So you made your choice. That's cool. But don't bitch to me later that, oh, no one's never around when I want to talk to them. Or like, how come nobody returns a call? Well,
Right.
that's probably part of your answer right there. But I don't know. Like our group of friends are a pretty cool example of this. We keep in we don't all of us don't talk every day, but we can pick up after not speaking for a week or a month like it was an hour ago. You can't put a price tag on that. And most people say they have that and they don't. They're full of shit. They think they have it, or they want to say they have it. No one's there for you when it really matters. So
We have a group thread every day that, some people are like, oh, I hate group threads. They're so annoying. Not
these are the
us.
best.
That's the
I
best,
do
number
hate group
one.
text. I love this.
But it all depends who's in the group text. Like, like our group thread is like, because, again,
Yeah.
all of our friends have lives. As long as people
Yeah.
respond and I know you're still
Yeah.
alive, we're
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yeah.
But that's, why the time that we have together, I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving next week,
I can't wait.
because you never know. Like, we're not
Yeah.
promised tomorrow, man. Like, the
Nope.
book of Matthew talks about focus on today, not tomorrow. And
Mm-hmm.
it's hard because, today's troubles and today's worries and today's bills and today's stressors is enough for today. We don't need to
Mm-hmm.
capitulate that and think about 1 year, 3 year, 5 years. Are we going to go we're going to go to a socialist communist society? Are our kids going to have a good education? Are they going to let men back in women's sports? Is this guy going to destroy the city? Like, you can think about that, but let's focus on the day. And we're so
Yeah.
guilty. I'm guilty of it. I don't know about you, but I completely guilty of focusing on tomorrow, because you know what? What makes me tired, probably, now that we're having this conversation, and what makes
Mm.
me more stressed out, and what gives me white eyebrow hair, is the fact that I think about where I'm at today, where I want to be, and why I can't get there.
Yeah, but
And
look
it's
where you
like,
were.
look where I was.
Look at the lens though where you were. Like you've completely crushed it then. And you're
Yes.
in the same spot. So it depends on how you look at it.
Right. And now I'm just smarter. And
Mm-hmm.
thank you for that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just smarter because I've realized, all right, like, there's certain things that can't go on. And you run your, like, one of my clients gave me the best advice years ago. He said, run yourself like a business. Well, as we're noticing in the world, no matter what anyone believes, like, the US
Mm-hmm.
was a fledgling business that needs to get gutted out from the inside out. And I do believe that next year at this time, our economy will be better than it is today. By 27, we should be ripping and roaring. It's just, you got to peel the skeleton. So I had to do that to myself. Like, all right, I got to strip myself down, which is why I'm stepping into this light, where it's like,
Mm.
okay, I want to be here. Why aren't I getting here? It's like, we all have to ask ourselves that question. What? Oh, I know. Because you have interest rates on debt that keeps accruing. Why aren't we knocking that out? Oh, I know, because we're going to dinners, we're going on a boat, we're going on this, we're doing that. And it's like behavior from, 10, 15, 20 years ago that, do I need to shed
Yep.
it? No, but it's about being more responsible. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Of
And in your experiences, Greg, have you experienced something like that?
course. Of course I have. And the funny thing is, most people don't even want to hear podcasts like this because it's real and it's actually talking about substance. They just want that quick, dopamine hit or that stupid, senseless, you know, um, sound bite or whatever. It's just all shock, which is that serves its purpose for like, passing time, whatever. But nobody wants to put the work in anymore. They just don't.
Agreed.
And because they don't want to be accountable to themselves. And if you're not accountable to yourself, you're not going to be accountable to anybody else. You got to start with yourself. But nobody wants to hear the real truth about themselves because that would not fit their Instagram profile, Mike. You know, they have to have the latest shit and the best stuff and oh, look at my ass pic or this or that. It's like I don't know. It's nauseating because guys like us, and this isn't saying I'm not being cocky. We see right through that. And there's a million of you. And it's not hard. And it's annoying actually because I know you're being fake. So it's I don't know. I don't waste my time with it either. Like, oh, why do you waste your time looking? Like, no, I don't. I'm just saying I know you're full of shit and that's not the real you. So whatever. It's all good.
I just joined TikTok for my business, and all the stuff I've got coming at me is quite interesting.
I'm sure it
But
is.
you know what? Like, in the social media landscape, again, it's one of those things where I was resistant for years because I worked off referrals, word of mouth, yada yada.
Yep.
But in 2025, now 2026, like 5 weeks away, right?
Mhm.
It's a necessity.
I agree.
You have
I
to
hate it,
be
but I agree.
like, I am the face of my business.
Mhm.
You are the face of your business. Together,
Mhm.
we're the face of this podcast.
Yeah.
So you can't talk in third person. You can't have a faux CEO. You can't have
Yeah.
and it's just really, it's getting out of your comfort zone. But the more I do it, the more that I feel more comfortable, but understand, okay, like, again, where's my identity in my business? See, I feel that my business is almost like a ministry. I can use my skills. What is your skill? I just saw a quote online. The best thing about like having a skill is kind of giving it away and using it for the greater good. I'm paraphrasing, but I think it was a Pablo Picasso quote. It's like,
Mhm.
what is your skill? What is the God-given talent that you have? What have you been blessed with? Now, Greg, you've been blessed with being tall, good looking, muscular. We're like twins, and you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm Danny DeVito. I'm blessed with being less than 6 feet tall, with a foul mouth, and we can go on and on. I am Little Benedict, and we are Benedict and
Ah,
Benedict. Really, for those that are our age, know the movie Twins. Rest in peace, Kelly Preston. She was amazing.
yeah.
But anyway, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, it could be challenging. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, most people can't answer these. What's your skill or what's your I mean, I know what mine is. I'm just saying most people can't, or they'll just blurb out something without truly thinking about it. And if I look back, believe it or not, I can say this with confidence. I'm good at motivating and giving people confidence to do whatever it is they want to do, whether it's something physical like in the pool or something like super hard or going out and getting business and making a ton of money because I've done all those things for people and I enjoy that. So now my style is not for everybody, don't get that twisted because I'm very hard, so I've been told, and direct, but I like that approach. I don't want to sugarcoat anything. In business, nobody has time for it, and I just don't want to hear excuses. I can make a million excuses too. So it is what it is. And I think I'm pretty good at that, and I can do it with little kids, and I can do it with adults of all ages.
Right.
So I like that.
And and it's funny. You said you'd rather have money than time, which I agree. And it's
Time and
funny.
money. Time
Time
and
than
money.
money. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. By
Don't
the
get
way,
me
I'm
wrong,
your
I want money, people.
yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, you gotta make money." I understand I gotta make money, I got bills, but I prefer time.
Yeah. Just that's what
Gotta
chair
work.
shots. Chair
Yeah.
shots will do that to you. My bad.
Mhm.
So so it's funny. For years, I was embarrassed of my job, ashamed of my
So
job,
was I.
right? And because you've had people or the world make you feel less than what you
100%.
know you deserve. And it's crazy that we allow people to really determine our self-worth. Even to this day, I'll have moments. I don't know about you, but to be completely vulnerable and transparent, I have moments probably once a day where I examine my value, my self-worth, and I got so much baggage. I don't have any
I'm
baggage.
glad you said that. Most
Yeah.
people, I think, I'll throw out a number. I bet you 95% of people think what you just said. They'll never admit it,
Oh
but I
yeah.
I agree with you. When we were trainers, when we were younger, and oh, they're a trainer, like like oh, you're not a finance guy. I don't give a fuck about finance guys. Like they're
Right.
dorks. But I'm friends with some of them. I can say
Me
that because
too.
I have a lot of friends in there. But like that doesn't make you better than anybody else because you're in finance.
Right.
You can't even run
Right.
across the street without tripping and falling, but you're so
Right.
athletic. I don't care. But people do look down on certain on most things that something that they don't do.
Or like, he's so weird because he's never been married, doesn't have any kids. Or like, oh my God, he doesn't own anything.
Of
Oh
course.
my God. So it's like the world is telling us you have to have a home, you have to own a home, you have to
Mhm,
own this, you have to own that. So this way you can get a girl. Or
mhm,
hey, listen, a girl, it's like I have to have enhancements here. I have to look a certain way, I have to act a certain way, I have to get
hmm.
fake this, fake that, I gotta work on my butt, everything else. So like the pressures are about the same for both sexes, just different.
But it's a choice to accept those or not.
True.
I want nothing to do with that. Our people want nothing to do with that.
Nope.
Nothing. I mean, I don't know. And I lived that life for a long time in Boca. You know that. I was all about that shit back in the day.
Only
From
20 minutes away.
when I stepped on campus in 1996.
Ooh,
I
96.
mean, yeah, I mean, first of all, that campus had like 4 buildings, but I was in Boca. It was rocking. Like Del Rey was Atlantic Avenue was good, but it's nowhere near what it is now. It was
Yeah,
popping, but it was like a quarter the size. But like, the nightlife, all that stuff, the women, it was crazy. The cars, the jewelry, the watches, like it consumed you, and I loved it.
of
And I
course.
want zero to do with that now. I mean,
Yeah,
like zero,
yeah,
nothing.
yeah, yeah. No, I understand, man, and it's crazy, and it's all about your evolution, how you evolve. A lot of people don't evolve.
Glad I did it. It was
Yeah, oh,
fun.
100%.
I'm not hating, but nope, nope.
But it's like most people will say, "Oh, I'm not about money," or "I'm not about this," or "I'm
Then you
not
shouldn't have
about
to
that."
say it.
I'm
Then
not
you don't have
about
to
that,
say it.
But then it's like you'll go and do something that's contradictory to what you're. Now, again, we were around people like with a lot of affluency, but we were also conditioned. So
Mhm.
it's like deconditioning yourself, taking a step back and realizing what is it really worth right now. We may not be, or someone out there may not be in the best ideal position, but if you got a roof over your head, and again, go back to the Bible, if you have enough food, enough clothes, be thankful, because you know what, Greg, when you and I die, we're going to the grave with the same amount, or the crematory, or wherever our remains are going. I ain't taking my hat with me, or this computer, or my
You're
car.
taking your empowerment hat, damn it. You're taking your empowerment hat. I'm a piece of shit. I didn't even wear mine today.
Coming soon for the holidays, empowerman.com.
Mhm.
But
So,
like, we're gonna die with the same amount.
agreed.
We can't take anything with us. Now, would I like to be, set up for my later years in life so I'm not working
Of
like I'm working out?
course.
Of
Of
course.
course.
But like I'm not taking a Mercedes with me to the grave. I'm not taking a house with me to the grave. What are you gonna
Mhm.
have? So that's what I'm saying. Like, what's the legacy you're gonna leave behind? Because I have decided to step forward in certain areas of my life, I realized that my job, my skill, my God given gift was like you, motivating, but also using health and wellness and fitness to inspire, motivate, cultivate change. And I was exposed to it when I was like around the same time I was exposed to wrestling. And I knew I always
Mhm.
wanted to work in a gym. But as I've evolved, I've been able to be exposed to different things. And now my job is like more of like it's like a ministry. It's like I have so many tools at my disposal. It's not about reps and sets or fake this or Instagram followers. It's about improving people's lives. People
Mhm.
come to you broken. People come to you broken. They come to me broken. And we have a
Mhm.
God given gift to motivate, inspire, and educate people to be better than they were yesterday, than 2 days ago, than a month ago.
Mhm.
Do you feel the same way that I feel
Of course I do.
along
Of
those lines?
course I do. I definitely do. And it's that's why we'll never work for somebody. It has to be an extreme condition, but it's because of that mentality, which I think is a good thing. We have the ability to do those things to help people through different channels, like your health and wellness. And I just like people being naturally confident and not being confined to what they think society wants or needs or says, or what's on social media, or what's on any of the news channels, because though all of that shit will drive you into the ground in negativity. There's
Yeah.
you When was the last time you turned I don't watch the news anymore at all. It's all bullshit to me. And it's that obviously you and I have said this a million times. They're trying to divide us racially. I personally think it's the religion shit that's coming up bad now. Like they're really pressing hard on that. And it's just all leading us down a very bad path. And I hate it. And everything's gonna come to a head at some point. But so this is a good story. 2 weeks ago, I was at a comedy show in New Rochelle, and I saw my friend, shout out to her, she goes under the name Cousin Corn.
Oh,
My friend Sharon Blunt, love her. I've known her since second grade,
oh wow.
literally, and we keep in touch here and there on Instagram, and she's gotten into the comedy space. Very hard. I mean, that's a tough profession to go
You're
into.
not kidding.
And you see her leveling up, and I love that. She's getting bigger venues,
Okay,
more people, and it's fucking awesome.
right,
And with my schedule, it's hard, but I went to one of her shows in New
right,
Rochelle. I'm like, hell yeah.
right.
And you want to get into like racial stuff. I think there was maybe 4 white people there. One of the best nights I've had in a long time. It was all love. It was all good. And now you walk in, the normal, person would get nervous. I saw people that I haven't seen since I graduated high school that I've known. Shout out to Curtis Major. Walked right up to him and like was like, "Yo, your name Curtis?" And he looked at me. Yeah, he gave me the biggest hug. It was like going back to elementary school instantly.
Yeah.
And it's just we're all good. We're all like, I want to say family, but we're all just family. We grew up together in New Rochelle, and we grew up through the grades together. We played sports together, and it was all like didn't skip a beat. So when people are like, oh, racial shit, that shit don't exist to me. I don't like that. I can't stand that. And it was nothing but love. And I just went right to Sharon. I haven't seen her in probably what's that, 30 years? I went right through the crowd before she went up on stage and just like biggest hug. And she's like, holy shit, I'm so glad you're here. And we hung out all night. She introduced me to people, and her friends were introducing me to their cousins and this, and it was all love. I don't know these people. It was fucking awesome. So I hate all that pinning against each other shit. I don't like that at all. I don't like that. It was a great night. She killed it. And it was great seeing some of the people that I haven't seen in a long time that I grew up with. It's cool. It was cool.
That's awesome, man. You
But
know
it's
what I hate?
all this shit is
Yeah.
getting bad with the religious stuff, and it's infiltrating everywhere, and they're pitting people against each other, and I don't know. I think it's all bad, and it's all gonna come to a head at some point. It's just gonna be bad. They're telling you have members of Congress telling military to defy orders. That's a bad thing to do. That's like treason, basically. And back in the day, that's punishable by you know what. You can't. We've lost our fabric, our baseline web of respect and following orders and all this. You can't tell military people to not follow orders. It's not good. No, you can get people killed. It's just bad because there's going to be people. I know people in the military that will do that. What they say. Not all military is cool, and it's like you're causing. That's a huge divide now. Now that's American on American. That's civil war shit. And it's
They called it.
the temperature of the country is hot enough right now. Now you sprinkled that fucking shit on. Horrible. Absolutely horrible to do that. And you should be removed from office, in my opinion. That is a very dangerous thing to do. It's very dangerous.
Should be arrested.
No good comes out of that. Dangerous. Dangerous.
Well,
And
Greg,
shame on them.
you know what I hate? Because I have to do this. I hate time change. Don't ask me why. I don't have any lights right now. I got to get some lights.
Yeah, turn the lights on.
Turn the lights on. I swear to God, I paid my bills, but I shy away from accepting charitable donations. Mike Gal, 1978. Click on the $sign and send me money.
Let Mike light up. There we go. There we go.
Don't ask me why I didn't do that in the first place.
There we go. It's the chair shots.
I hope my rear end looked good because I did a lot of squat this week.
I got cleared to lift.
Hey.
Shout out Dr. Shane Dawson, the greatest surgeon for any hernias you have. He also does other things. The greatest surgeon. I promise you. Amazing. Me, I can't say enough good things. So it was my second one, and he did great. So I'm cleared to lift again. So bring it on.
Bring on the testosterone, pal. Because remember, got to load up first. You got to load up
Loaded,
first.
loaded.
Loaded. Ready, aim, fire.
Yeah,
But you're right,
but
though, Greg. Keep
yeah.
keep keep going with that because I want to just add real quick. Like you said, back in the day, it's punishable by death.
I mean,
And
this is going way back, but yeah, and they were in the military themselves in different branches. I know you wouldn't do that back in the day, but you have the luxury of saying and talking shit now in your elected position. And that's another thing. You people are electing these people. It's bad news.
yeah,
But shame on you for breaking your own honor code just to stir the pot for politics. Let them, they're killing each other, the politicians. You know what? We need a whole reboot anyway of both of everybody, in my opinion. You
well,
know?
it comes down to education, right? If you're a consumer trying to buy something, you see, as I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen in business, right? People buy what they don't know. They think they're making the right decision, but
Of
it
course.
comes down to education because they've corrupted our education over the last 40, 50 years. And
Mhm.
these people are being taught that. We're taught something completely different, but yet we're ostracized because we're the ones who, oh, you celebrate
Feelings, Mike.
Thanksgiving? It's a racist
Feelings, Mike.
holiday. Right.
Feelings. Everyone doesn't want to hurt
Right.
feelings anymore. And it's like we have to go back to being able to, I don't want to say hurt feelings, but take it. It's okay. If you get your feelings hurt, all right, move on. Move
Well,
on.
we got to go back to common sense, number one. And I think with all this stuff with the politicians, dude, it's all
They're
about
sinking their own ship, man.
money.
Of course it is. But
That's
now but we're in the age of information now. You can't hide shit anymore like they used to. So all the corruption in our own country is coming out day by day, more and more and more.
right.
They wonder why people don't trust. I'm talking, I don't care what, insert any party. I'm talking about both. You know me, I don't like any of them. They're all full of shit. But now it's like it's being exposed and they'll lie to your face, get caught lying, and still try to make you feel bad for their lies, which I don't
Right.
understand. But you know what? I'll say it. The masses are dumb and they just follow and they still just believe what they hear without doing the research or finding facts because facts are also harder to find now because they bury the shit out of them. And nobody wants to take the time because they're too busy with their day to day lives. But now look what's happened under the radar. People have gotten into positions now and it's the elected official. You have one elected official. Now you have three. Now you have four. Now the whole city's a certain way. And then you wonder, how did we get here? They're the slow play. They've been doing this for 10 years. This is a 10-year plan now. Now it's come to fruition. So,
Yeah. It's only going to get worse. And I think,
of course it is.
again,
It has
Trump,
to get better.
Trump's been
If
the
it even
only
has a
thing.
chance.
I've never seen a candidate or a elected official that's had so much stuff thrown at them. And what he is a roadblock. I never heard as much scrutiny. Like we go back to Clinton, his second term, when he did the whole little Monica Lewinsky thing.
That's nothing. That's all bullshit.
Right.
Whatever.
But I mean, right. I mean, we go back into regards to like events. Like I've never seen anyone in my 40 some odd years living on this earth that has gone through as much as Trump has gone through. And he's just been a roadblock. That's all he's been is a roadblock. And you know what? When 29 comes, it's going to be a different ball game. As much as I love JD, the plan's already in motion, and they're going to have control for the rest of our lives. And
They hurt themselves though. Both
yep,
parties are a mess. And the Epstein thing, they you fumbled that. Everything's bad. And JD's sinking his own ship, if you ask me.
yep,
And he's not well liked. And I'm neither here nor there. I don't care because I don't like any of them. But it's we're in a really bad spot because I worry about my girls now growing up because what kind of shit are they going to have to deal with? Because I'm not going to be around forever, and I got to make sure that they're okay for the most part in their
if the
lives, and
tools to survive.
there's not going to be like any weird shit here, which it's here, but I don't know.
Well, and that's the thing, man. It's you know, as we go into this second act of our lives, right, or whatever act we're on, and now we're
Mhm.
older, and you know, we're kind of hitting that peak where okay, we're hitting like the peak of our lives in essence, where it's like, all right, well, we had fun, and now we're kind of like reorienting, restructuring, so that what does
Mhm.
the rest of our life look like? I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. I was just someone with common sense. That's all I want. Like capitalism is a good thing, right? Everyone knows that. People fled communist countries to come here, and now are turning into one, or want to turn into one, or want to accept those principles. Again, you know, I worry about like my future, but this is all written. If, for anyone out there that's curious, read the book of Revelation. Revelation will reveal, like its namesake, it will reveal the things that are going on right now was written 2025 years ago. And that's why time is so important because you never know when tomorrow, like I'm so happy you're coming down here. I'm
Me
so
too.
happy that I'll be able to spend Thanksgiving with you and your family because you
Mhm.
know what? Like I'm excited to go home and see my family for Christmas. You know, I
That'll be fun
talked to
too.
my mom. Oh, Christmas will be great. Like you have no idea. Yeah, right? Like I have such a great, it's gonna be so much fun. And I'm looking forward to, you know, we talked about childhood earlier, and it's
Mhm.
like a lot of people can say, "Oh my God, like I'm sorry that I acted this way because I had this awakening that I was raised this way and I acted a certain way." Now, it's no excuse. It can it can maybe provide clarity, but like at the end of the day, you didn't make those decisions. I could blame my upbringing on every choice I ever made, but
Of
you know what? At the
course.
end of the day, I'm the one that pulled the okay on it.
Mhm.
Right? I'm the one that said, "Hey, I'm doing this. I'm doing
Yeah.
that." I can't.
Mhm.
Oh well, you know, I didn't get the stuff I needed as a kid. That's BS, man. You know what I mean? But when you're
Mhm.
able to understand and do some self reflection, like with you know, we talked about this, you know, earlier in the week. When you can understand, like our parents do the best they can, just like you're doing the best you can,
Mhm.
right? You had some awakenings you were telling me, like that you knew about, right? That your parents went through, like, and they did that so that you wouldn't go through it. And now you've been able to be exposed to different things, and you're taking that strong foundation and you're gonna put that into your kids. And guess what? When your kids get older, they're gonna find a man like you because
Hmm.
they know what a man is, and they're going to be able to weed out the crap. They ain't going to care about money. They ain't going to care about all the stuff you see on Instagram because you raised them right, and you're raising them right. And I'm
Yeah.
seeing that,
Yeah. I
and
agree.
everyone that knows you knows that.
Mhm.
You know, so it's like, where do we go in regards to like private school? Private school doesn't mean like it's any better. It might
True.
even be worse depending on where you go.
Some are true, of course.
So, I
Of
mean,
course.
what advice people out there that listen to this right now that are in your position, right? What advice would you give them when it comes to like safeguarding your kids with all the stuff going on right now in today's world?
Hmm. I mean, that's a tough one, but just be there for your kids and provide a space where they are comfortable and calm because there's too much pressure on these kids now. There's there's 5-year-olds up here that have private coaches for baseball. Yo, I'm gonna be honest. Little Stevie's not gonna be on the fucking Yankees. The kid can't even walk. And they're spending money because and there's pressure on this kid to excel at 5 years old, 6 years old, 7. The kid's 5 years old, dude. I'm not exaggerating. It's 5 years old. In 5 years, the kid's gonna be 10. The kid will be burnt out by 10 or 11 years old. My advice is let the kids have fun. Let the kids and I this is from somebody that grew up traveling early, young, swimming, pressure in a good way. It was different, but what I started swimming at 6, 7. Okay. I started traveling at 8. Like it was cool. But nowadays, for the all right, for the team I grew up on, I won't say it. People that know me know what team I grew up on. To make that team now, you have to like try out now, and you have to be like set. Like Farrah can try out. I don't want that pressure for her. She likes swimming right now. She's doing phenomenal. She got asked to try out. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'll wait a year and I'll ask her, "Do you want to maybe try it?" But I don't want pressure on her. I want her to have fun with it. She's killing it. It's all good. Same with tennis. She's really doing well in tennis. She wants to continue it. Good, continue it. But when it gets time to get on a team, these people are hiring private coaching and this and that. They're too young. Let them have fun, enjoy all the sports, and then pick a sport. And if they're really interested and have talent, okay, maybe move the needle and go focus on that now. But let them be a kid. I'm There's kids that I'm coaching that are 3 years old for swimming. Parents are like, oh, not their parents, other parents, not kid, but kids in their age group, not in my class. Oh, I want them to make a team, and like, how come we're not? How come the academy's not bumping them up to the next level? They're not ready yet. You have to be ready to be bumped up. You have to be at that skill level. They're not at that level yet. Oh, but they have to be bumped up because if they're not, then the team's not going to look at the team's not looking at them anyway right now.
Right.
That's besides the point. But the kid's having a great time. They're doing better. And by the way, at that age, at 3 years old, it's about survival if you fall in a pool. We teach survival first, not making the Olympic team.
Right.
All right. So it's if you fall in with your clothes on, what do you do? And we do that. We practice every couple weeks. We throw them in with their clothes on because they have to feel what it's like to be. Because when you fall in a pool, it's by accident. You're not like, hold on, let me take everything off and keep my
Right.
suit on. Like,
Right.
no, it's not the case. You fall in and you panic. These kids are awesome. They don't panic at all. They're like, it's amazing. But that's the point at 3 years old. Survive. Get to the wall, survive. But these parents like, oh, I want them on a team because then they can talk about it at their parties or this or that or on school line at pickup. Everything is skewed so bad now. Meanwhile, the parents were never athletes themselves. So like they're trying to live through their kid, I don't know. Everything's gotten so over the top now with kids and sports and school and oh, they have 4 A's and a B. Like, what that's horrible. That's fucking great. Let the kid That's too much pressure for a kid. That's great. You'll still get into school. Oh, they have to go here, they have to go there. That's for you. What about have you ever asked them what they want? Let's just start with that. By the way, your kid hates swimming. Did you know that? But you want them to try out for a travel team. They fucking hate it. I don't know. The kids should determine, in my opinion. I would never force any of my girls to do something they don't want. Just because what I want them. The owner of the academy, she's an Olympic medalist. She's gotten, I don't know, 3 medals. She could care less if her kids swim or not. As long as they're happy and healthy, who gives a shit what they do? They can go into like bobsledding. Who cares? As long as they're like good kids, they're happy and they like any sport, doesn't matter what the sport is. That's how I think it should be. But around here, it's brutal, man. Brutal. It's very competitive and not in a good way. I'm all about competition, but in the right way.
It's funny you say that because you have your identity as a parent,
Yes.
right? You have an identity. You have a vision of how you want to be with your kid, and a lot of people don't have that because would you use the term helicopter parenting?
Yeah, and there's different levels. Like I'm guilty of
Right.
being a helicopter. Like, oh, be careful running, like you might fall. But like, there's like the real where the kids are nervous to take a breath of air.
I meant well. Okay, so this is probably I meant that a different way in regards to like being involved in their kid's life.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So it's
Hmm.
like you have that. A lot of people, it's like when they get a dog, they have it just so they can say, "I have a dog," right?
What do you
You
mean I have to
know
walk it? I got to feed it.
exactly.
I got to clean
I,
it. I got to
I
brush
got
it.
I got to take it to the vet. I got to do this. Like I
It's
could,
so expensive.
I tried having
Mhm.
a dog once, and I fostered a dog for 3 weeks, and I just said I can't handle it. It wasn't fair to that dog, and that dog could not wait to leave. That dog does like peace and got. I finally
Oh,
like
that's
yo cat
awesome.
like yo you, all of us we're all cat guys. Yo,
Mhm.
cats are so misunderstood. My little
Mhm.
princess right now, so you see the foliage behind you. My Christmas tree is already up. I'm getting another one for in here. I'm all about Christmas. And my cat has her like bed. My cat is a princess. She has a water fountain in every room. She has a bed in every room. So she's currently watching Hallmark movies in the living room while we're doing
Bougie
this.
bitch.
She is, and she is by the Christmas tree because she loves the Christmas tree.
Of course.
But cats are like so much easier as far as like they go to the
Yeah.
bathroom when they want, they chill, they eat.
They're
But they
independent.
all have they all have their little personality. Because if I don't, man, if she doesn't get the attention she's looking
Oh,
for,
she gets mad at you.
oh boy, like you wouldn't believe. I can't even leave that apartment to go to work sometimes because
Mhm.
so I have to go rub her little
Mhm.
rear end by the food bowl, and then I got her bolt out the door because she'll come
Mhm.
running after me.
Yep.
But it's responsibility. It's being accountable. It's like, hey, I
Yeah.
don't have a kid just because oh, it's cool. Like, yeah, my. It's like being involved, and
Mhm.
that's what's missing, I think, in today's. And again, like I don't have kids that I
Yeah.
maybe there's some out there floating around. I don't know, but I see it. A lot of people aren't as involved as they should be in their parents.
Of
Oh, I
course.
work so much. Oh, I've got this. Oh, I've got that. We are such a victim society where we always blame. Oh my God, I'm so busy. I didn't have time. Oh my God.
Me. I asked about your kid, and all I'm hearing is me.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like,
You're
how about
absolutely right.
let's just say, look, we're all busy. We're all
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah.
Let's just figure it out, man.
Mhm.
Like, I'm busy. I forget. In fact, I got to call a buddy of mine back. My buddy DJ called me, and
Mm.
like about a month ago. And I got to call. I'll probably text him and set up a time to call him. But I feel bad because DJ, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I'm going to text you soon. And he texted me, and I'm like, crap, I forgot to text him back, right? Because I just forgot. Like, it's okay
Yeah.
to say I forget.
Yeah, my
I'm
bad.
like, oh my God, I'm so busy. I don't
Mhm.
want to hear that. I think that's the stupidest. Like, we're all busy. I get it. But, like, hey, just own up to it. My
No,
bad.
when I'm at when I'm at swim, whether I'm teaching or watching, and when I'm at tennis, I'm not like this.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The kids are watching their parents. They want them to watch them. It's normal.
Isn't that
Give them
crazy?
a wait. I have hand signs now for Farrah. So she knows when I throw up a number or something, like, she knows what that means. But she I'm always watching. I'm always smiling, or I'll laugh. I'll make her laugh because I see her in the pool. She's breathing. She's peeking at me through the goggles. I laugh at her,
Uh,
but she's watching. All these other parents are on their phone. I feel bad for their kids.
yeah.
Kids are looking for, like, "Hey, Ma, I just did something real good." Mom's on the phone. By the way, Mom, what are you looking at? I looked the other day at tennis. She's on Instagram, or she's shopping, or like, your kid's only at tennis for an hour. You can't just watch your kid for an hour? I don't know. But I'm looked at weird around here, so don't go by me.
Well,
But the
you know
kids are
what happens.
watching. Kids are watching.
You know what happens. They look for approval. And then what happens when they get older? They go look for approval from places that could be detrimental to them.
Of course. Of course. And so I'm gonna say this. Yesterday,
Yes, sir.
probably shouldn't say this. I picked Farah up from school. There's a church lot that's below the school lot that's not associated with the school, but I park there because it's easier to get to my house, which is right up the street.
Hmm.
I'm walking with another parent because she parks there too, and her kid and Farah are very good friends. So we're talking, and then she parked near me. We're getting in our cars, and I hear, like, I get a Russian accent or one of those Eastern Bloc accents, whatever. I think he was the grandfather, and, like, I want to say he was beating the kid, but it was very physical, to the point where I told my friend to get in her car and go. And I told my kids to get in the car and buckle up. I started the car, put the heat on, and I just waited. There was a lot of yelling, and the kid can see me through the windshield. She was in, like, the back seat. I don't know if she wasn't getting in her car seat or something. I can't understand the language. But, like, she went to hit him, and he, like, really got her and, like, dragged her. And I was like, this is getting bad, to the point where I want to do something. And then I'm like, I'll get in trouble. Knowing this day and age we're in. So I'm like, all these scenarios are going through my head. Do I hit the guy? Do I subdue the guy? Do I call the police? All these things are going through by the second in my head because it's happening right in front of me. So then I just position myself where he has to see me watching him. Maybe that'll make him stop, which it did. So like I just stood there and I'm looking at the girl through the windshield. She's crying her eyes out. And I'm like, now I don't know what went on because they were there while we were walking up. I don't know the backstory. There's no reason you should be doing that to a kid, but maybe she was misbehaving. I don't know. And not everybody has different parenting styles. I'm not one to give, but I don't like seeing that or hearing that. And a grown man should not hit a little girl or grab her and yank her. Yo, do that to me. I'll fight you right here, no problem. And you can whoop my ass. I'm cool with that. But at least like adult to adult, man to man, cool. But it was I was about 10 feet away, and I'm like just standing there. Finally, like for some reason, like he looked up, and like I was like zoning in on him. And I think my body language was probably in a good way, like threatening to him. And he like stopped and said something to the girl, and I just like looked at the girl, made eye contact through the windshield, and I kind of just let her know that I'm watching, I'm here. And then finally, like they calmed down. He shut the door, got in the car, and sped out of there. And I was just standing there outside, like, what did I just witness? And then I opened the door, and Farrah's like, Dad, is that girl okay? So she was aware of what was going on. I'm like, she's fine. And she's like, "What? Why did you?" I'm like, "Because I wanted to make sure she was okay and nothing bad happened to her. Because and there was nobody put your hands on you lesson." And then I pivoted and got her mind off that because I don't want her, you know, focusing on that. But dude, I was this close. But then I ran the scenario. Okay, cops are called. They're gonna take one look at me, and they're gonna take one look at that old man, and you know what's gonna happen. Greg T's gonna get in trouble. Why'd you put your hands on that man? I don't know. Why'd he put his hands on a kid? It's not your kid. Why are you getting involved? And I don't need that heat. But I
Your
also
kids are in
don't
the car.
that too. But I don't
Wondering.
like living like that. That guy should have got checked hard, in my opinion. Hard. Now, granted, I don't know the backstory, but I don't care really what the backstory is. There's no reason to do that. So I don't know, it was a weird moment. I don't even know why I said that, but whatever.
Well, there's never excuse to hit anyone,
No.
especially a kid. I mean, a
Forget
kid.
hitting forget the this, he grabbed her ankle
Uh,
or whatever and, like, yanked her, like, down off the seat into, like, the floorboard area, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" Now, granted, the girl hit him too,
oh,
but I actually don't blame her because he was very, I'll say, aggressive
how old is
and
the kid?
loud. Car seat age, so Farrah's in a car seat, so let's see, 6, 5?
You don't grab. You don't
I
grab.
agree, I
It
agree,
don't matter. You don't
I
grab.
agree,
You don't grab. But
I agree.
it's just that type of type
That's
of
where I
mindset.
wished
Yeah.
we were back in the day, in the time. That's what I wish, but nothing good comes out of that either. I don't want my girl seeing
No.
that,
No.
and then I don't want that little girl who I'm helping see that either, because that's traumatizing to her. If I put that guy down, that's gonna mess her up too. Granted, I'm helping her in the moment, but she's gonna remember that because that guy is no threat to me. But he's a threat to her. It was hard to watch. I didn't like it, but I didn't want to just get in my car and leave because, well, I don't know, it was escalating. You know, we've been around enough fights. We know when things are either escalating or de-escalating. So I didn't like that. It was
And
hard to
it's
watch, man.
and it's gonna be bad for her because when you grow up around that type of anger,
Of
it
course.
only perpetuates inside of you, and it's just and it
Mhm.
can take years and years to shed. And no matter what you do, if a situation arises, If you get frustrated, your default, the way you're wired, is to respond with anger, and it takes a lot of reconditioning to not respond with anger. It is
Of
because you know
course.
what? Guilty as charged,
And
and it's
I
tough.
and it's hard now having 2 girls, it's hard for me because I always say my first thing is anger. I'm pissed watching that because I think of them and I just see red. But then I'm also like, and this is not an excuse, their cultures are rough, and I respect that. They're a little more rough than Americans or traditional Americans, so
But you're not.
maybe that's part of their culture. I don't know. I'm not saying it's right, but some cultures are a little more hands-on than others. We all know that. Some cultures are more loud than others. I'm just saying I don't agree with it, but it could be that also. That all these things are running through my head like live time. Do I go? Do I not go? Do I step forward? Do I not? Do I put hands on? Do I not? Do I just put them on the ground and wait? It's a lot of factors, but luckily enough, it was enough for him to stop when he saw me just not leaving and staring at him and putting my girls in the car and waiting there. But it was like, I don't know, it was hard to watch, man. I don't even know why I brought that up. We were talking about, I guess, parenting skills or whatever. I don't know.
Well,
Anyway,
Greg, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because obviously a lot of people they may see that and may not how to respond to it. And now you've given people like scenarios. What do I do in that situation? I don't know what I would do in that situation. Maybe you have a flashback into your 20s and like, yo, you see a kid like kids, animals, women. There's no excuse. I mean,
no,
you should
no,
not.
no.
So, I mean, if I saw someone, that couldn't help themselves,
Hmm.
what do you do? Because your initial instinct is to go help that person out, but then there's legalities. Down here in Florida is a little bit different because people still are pretty smart and common sense for the most part. But in other states where the criminals are the good guys, then it's tough. But Greggy T, take us home. We covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah, a lot of
Give
different
us a
topics.
synopsis. Give us a synopsis. Why is it important to know your identity? Why is it important to with your legacy and why it's important to think in terms of like what would people say about you at your funeral? Like why did we have this conversation and why is it so important for us to be so self-reflective as we get older and even whether you're old or not?
I think that's your or my identity speaking to yourself or myself, and your legacy will weed out all the bullshit and the shine, and it will be your identity. You're not, you know, your identity and what you leave behind, you can't shine things that aren't true or factual. It weeds out all the noise and it's just a baseline of actually who you are. So if you can tap into actually who you are, it'll help you in every area of your life, every area, because you'll just stop lying to yourself. You'll stop fighting because there's always something that's resisting. Money, money, money. Like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want the Lamborghini, I want like, of course, those little battles, but like, there's always that little voice like, I don't really need that. That's your true identity, but you're just like kind of like shoving it down right now, not letting that shine because you see things, you're influenced by things on Instagram or people or shows or movies or music or whatever. And until you just put all that noise aside and figure out, you know what, that really is me. I don't need that. And I want to do this. And don't be embarrassed no matter what that looks like. You know, there's people, oh, he's a farmer. I met a farmer here. This kid went to like horticulture school or whatever, and he bought a
Wow.
farm around here. Now you go talk to 90% of the people around here and like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a farmer. They're gonna laugh at you. They're gonna immediately look down on you. Meanwhile, this kid, it's what he went to school for, it's what he's passionate about, it's what he wants. Good for him. I said, that's awesome, dude. What are you gonna grow with this or that? And it's a very niche market where he'll probably crush it and make more money than the people that are hating on him being a farmer.
Yeah.
So he's true to himself. I respect that. So you gotta, like you said, you were guilty of it. I was guilty of it. You gotta shed that and just focus on what truly makes you happy. Because what makes you happy is linked to your identity. and you should just
Yeah.
do it and then embrace it and then crush it out of the park and really do awesome things with it.
Yeah.
That's important
Yeah.
because you're going to waste the other people that don't do this are going to waste their whole entire life doing something that they think is their identity when at the end of the day they missed life. You missed out on life because you don't have stories or true friendships. Everything's bought and paid for. You have no core anything. For what? A job? Or you're chasing whatever clout on social media? Crazy, man. To me, that's a waste of time. Because then what are people going to say at their funeral? They were a hard worker. They made a lot of money in this, I don't know, industry. Okay, what else? That's 2 lines. What else? Are they a good friend? Are they a good person? Did they do all their goals and like there's so many other things, but what else are they going to say? Because the buck stops there. Like, okay, thank you. Like that's all you have to say. You might as well not even have a service. And also, who's going to it? That's another telltale sign. When there's packed and there's a lot of people, that shows you that was a good person. Just saying.
With the holidays coming up, I encourage everyone, if you haven't seen it, watch It's a Wonderful Life. It is my favorite Christmas movie, but it is the most poignant Christmas movie because it does, at the end, right, to give it away, spoiler alert, the brother comes home to, I can't even think of the George,
Mhm.
the last name. I can't think, that's,
I don't know it.
that's chair shots. The point is, the brother comes back and toasts to the richest man I know. And why? Because he had family, he had friends, he had respect in the community, he had respect amongst people,
Mhm.
he was a giver. So whether you're a girl or a guy out there, and I'm sure it'll come to me after that we stop the podcast, I think about that, especially whether you're young or you're old or whatever point you are in life. So what do you want to be remembered for? What do you remembered as? What do you want to be remembered? What, as you're laying there, obviously you're not going to be, there,
Mhm.
but what do you want to look down? Hopefully, you're in heaven, if you believe. You want to look down like, man, like Greg said so many nice things about me, or Phil said so many nice things about me. Like, like I really did leave like an impact on this world, both,
Mhm.
but, at the end of the day, we're all flawed. We all make
Of
mistakes. We
course.
all sin,
Mhm.
So if you're able to think about that, figure it out, and move on, and it's a pretty good life.
Just don't be a piece of shit. It's simple. Just be a good person. Be a
That's
good
all it
person.
is. That's all it
You
is.
don't need all this noise and all this bullshit.
Speaking of no noise and no bullshit, Greg,
Mm.
that's right. I
Mhm.
said it. BS. Where can
Mm.
people find you if they want appearances, autograph signings, if they
Nope.
want some one on one coaching and motivation? But more importantly, if no one wants bullshit, where do they
Yes.
reach you at?
Do not reach out to me. No, I'm kidding. Just go. You can do my personal Instagram. It's fine. Greg Tedor, whatever. I think it is that. I don't know. Reach out to us here. We get a lot of questions and stuff. People write us, and it's cool that the hate has simmered down since some of those the previous conversations. But I enjoy the hate too because it's not for everybody, and it's keeping it real. I'll say, and you'll say things that okay. I'm not here to make everyone happy, but I'm here to have a conversation and maybe see certain sides to things which people don't like to do nowadays. Funny how that is. So,
And as a disclaimer, ladies, Greg is off the market. So, I mean, you can stop sending stuff. We have our favorite little liberal in Orlando.
listen, no politics at the table. Carol T will throw you out, both of you.
Hey,
No, I'm dead serious. She will kill you.
I guess I'm going to be wearing my shirt.
No,
No
that's not how it
politics.
is.
I just want to watch football. I want to have my McCollin 12, McCollin
Mm,
12, and
okay,
I have a
got
nice
it.
Davidoff. And that's it.
When the girls go to bed, yes.
Yes. And that's it. That's what I'm
Yep.
looking forward to.
Bring your bathing
That's what I'm
suit.
looking forward to. Exactly. Well, Greggy T,
Mhm.
safe travels from the communist state of Connecticut. I'm going to be signing off from the free state of Florida.
Mhm.
Greggy T, pearls of wisdom, pal.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Eat a lot, have fun, and be with your friends and family. It's all good.
And remember, be thankful for what you have because there's people out there that do not
Yeah.
have Thanksgiving dinner. Remember
Yeah.
that. And plenty of leftovers. So enjoy, everyone. God bless. Love each other.
Later.